Hey everyone, it's Ashton. I'm 5 months on tea today, so I thought I'd make a video. Have a couple things to talk about. I'm going to be going over, obviously, physical changes, and then kind of like emotional and social changes, and then I'll cover a couple of drawbacks that I've encountered since being on tea. There's not too many of those, don't worry, I'm not like, whatever. We'll just get to this video. Okay. So, physical changes. I've definitely seen change in my face more. I think my eyes are starting to be like deeper set, especially right now. Obviously my voice is incredibly different than it was 2 months ago. I'm definitely getting more body hair. I have thigh hair, which is weird. Like, I always had thigh hair, but now it's darker and like doodly. Hands. Meteor. All the time. I have way more strength. I'm way stronger. I said that last time, but it's even more true now. I have way more strength in my tendons again. I mentioned that last video as well. I noticed that I was carrying groceries and could actually like really carry a lot of groceries in a hand, so that was cool. I'm excited for more of that. I've always been very weak in my upper body, so it's nice to have upper body strength for once in my life. And I think the only other real physical change that I've noticed is like my scent profile has definitely changed. Deodorant smells different on me. I have this like perfume that I've been wearing as cologne because on me it smells like cologne, but if my mom were to wear it, for example, it would not smell like cologne. So there's something to that. I like it. And then on to like emotional, social stuff. Confidence. I've had a lot more in the way of confidence in myself lately, which feels pretty much amazing. For someone who's like always been an anxious wreck, it's kind of nice to actually feel like my social anxiety is going away. I'm actually able to like be in public around people and not be freaking the hell out the whole time, so that's awesome. On that note too, like I've noticed that especially with social anxiety, I'm kind of I'm like non-committal about it now. I don't care what people think of me. I was riding the bus and I was mouthing all the lyrics to this song I was listening to, and there was this guy staring right at me and I just smiled at him. I didn't even care. It was nice. People are so judgmental and I just don't care. It's a really amazing feeling. I've been recognizing myself in the mirror more, and that's not to say that I never like recognized myself in the mirror, but I identify with that person. I see that person and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I feel attractive too. Definitely. I feel more like myself, and like I feel, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel cute. And I'm being treated a little bit differently in public by people. And what I mean by that is, like, men don't smile at me. If I smile at men, they give me a weird look, which kind of tells me something about men. I don't know if it's good, but it tells me that the only time men will smile at you is if they think they can get something out of you, which is telling a little. So there's that. I don't know why men don't smile at other men, because if it was just a politeness thing, then people would smile at each other. You know what I mean? Yeah? Anyway. So I've been getting treated differently in public, and I have to kind of remember not to walk too close to girls and stuff like that. Like, you know, you gotta be aware that you're seen as male and you're seen as a threat. Happens. Okay. I guess on that note, I should talk about some of the drawbacks about being on tea so far. I definitely do have a little bit of anxiety about my, previous social life and social circles. There's a few people in my life that I'm still friends with, but who haven't seen me since I started tea, and so it would be a little bit weird to run into them, because I'm not sure if all of them know. So, I mean, running into people I used to know is kind of a thing that triggers anxiety for me too. I haven't had that problem, and I actually, if I have, the person that saw me didn't recognize me. so it's not really like a big deal, but I feel like if I was to be recognized and had to talk to somebody, for example, that I hadn't seen in a while, it'd be a little bit weird. So I have like mild anxiety about that sometimes. Another thing, this is probably the biggest thing that's been getting to me lately, and I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know what, probably senseless a little, because I don't really care about appealing to this demographic of people, but at the same time I kind of have to. I feel a little bit like I'm too in between for, like, both straight and gay cis men. I don't really feel like I fit anywhere in their agenda, which frankly I don't really care about, but at the same time I do, if that makes sense. Like, on a logical level, I'm like, whatever, but on a more personal level, there's a couple of people that I would maybe like to remain attractive to in some respects, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I feel a little bit of a sense of loss for the female social role, and by that I mean you can get away with a lot of shit. A lot of shit that you can't get away with as a male that you can as a female. And I know that's a little bit whatever, but certain things that girls can do are considered cute, and if a man were to try them, it could start fights. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna really, like, go into it because it's not that important, but I just mean sort of, I don't know, jokes you can make and jokes you can't make anymore, and I'm not really the type of person to enjoy feeling limited in social situations, I guess. I'm pretty out there. I can get a little bit wild, especially when I'm drunk, and it used to be considered cute, and now it could get me into trouble, so, you know, you gotta be careful. Yeah, and another thing, this one's kind of really arbitrary and not even relevant right now, but I just thought about, like, the fact is, sorry, I'm stuttering. I thought about if I were to date a man, or, you know, someone who was widely viewed as male by society or whatever, then I would have to deal with the same social issues as gay men, which, you know, I live in a very good place in the world for that, but at the same time there are, you know, bigots everywhere, and so I don't think that lesbians experience the same kind of discrimination as gay men, and I feel like up until this point I've probably just read as lesbian, so, yeah, I don't know. I've definitely been called a faggot walking down the street a couple of times, so it's like, but, like, I mean, you know, I talk about drawbacks, but overall I've been feeling way better, I've been feeling way happier, way more stable emotionally. The emotional stability is pretty incredible. I haven't been, like, totally stable. Obviously I still have my ups and downs, and they're kind of extreme sometimes, but, I mean, they happen less frequently than they used to, and I think they're less intense overall, too. I have way less really off days than I ever used to, and my dysphoria is almost non-existent, which is pretty... I don't think that I could have said that before. Yeah, I don't feel any dysphoria really around myself anymore, and I definitely am starting to feel a lot less dysphoria around friends and stuff. The only time I ever really feel dysphoric is if I'm having kind of a weird day to begin with, and if I feel like I have to keep up appearances in public or something, you know, I have to, like, watch my back or whatever. But that usually comes when on days where I'm feeling insecure to begin with, so, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading off my notes. But yeah, I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. Basically, tea is cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm on the same dose that I have been for a few months now. I'm still on 40 milligrams a week, and yeah. Singing voice. That is one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit. I definitely hit a point in, like, between 3 and 4 months where singing was a little bit more difficult than before. But it wasn't like I couldn't sing, it was just there was a little bit of a cap on my range at that point, because my voice hadn't really, like, settled at all. It was right in the middle of, like, a really big shift, as you can probably tell. And so I was definitely experiencing lots of voice cracks. I'm definitely experiencing lots of voice cracks currently. But in terms of singing, my voice is actually a lot more controlled than it was a month ago. So I have really high hopes that this is going to be okay. Like, I don't have very much of a break. I can still hit the high note in Loving You by Minnie Riperton. Don't ask me how I do that. I don't know. And really, I've just gained a lot in my low range, so I'm happy. I'm happy with my singing voice. And I'll probably post a clip of my singing voice, kind of a timeline of that, on my blog. And yeah. Okay, well, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I know this was a little bit discombobulated. Sorry. I'm not that great. Even when I have, like, notes reading off of them and they're all organized, I'm not an organized speaker sometimes, so deal with it. Okay, well, I hope that everyone that watches my videos is having a good day, because you deserve it. Okay, I'm gonna cut this here because I'm rambling. Bye!